Hello everyone, welcome to Raz News. I'm sure most of you must have heard that America is sending a team of EIS to India, Epidemic Intelligence Service. This team will investigate on the mutated virus and will apparently work on choking the virus. But as soon as the news was out, a lot of Indians were skeptical if this team should be allowed in India or not. There is a deep-seated mistrust towards Americans in India, and this mistrust has been earned over the decades. With news like Pfizer asking poorer nations to give their military bases as a guarantee, just exacerbates the situation. Trump must be one of the very few presidents who got the support of Indian nationalists. Now, there is a report which proves that even during the time when Trump was in power, there was a deep state which was working against India. Unfortunately, this report, which was submitted in the parliament, did not even create a ripple in the media. This was because there was enough then already being caused by the COVID deaths. This video is just about this report and our analysis on it. But before we proceed further, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. And if you really enjoy our content, do not forget to share it with others. You see, it takes us a good amount of research and some amount of risk to bring these videos to you. It started with an information submitted to the Parliament by the Union Home Ministry, which said that in past 4 years, Indian NGOs received rupees 50,975 crores from foreign countries, and that US tops the list with rupees 19,941 crores, which is 1/5 of the entire NGO funding in India. Between 2019 and 2020, rupees 2,190 crores were received by 3,475 NGOs in India. Now let us show you the 20-page report posted by the Indian government. The report clearly says there are close to 18,000 NGOs working in India. But since the last date of filing annual returns have been extended to 30th June 2021, so far, we have details of only 3,475 NGOs. In short, the amount could easily be a lot more than 2,190 crores. We then looked into more details of where this money was going. Since 2016, the top states where money was flowing in were Delhi, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal. Look at the names closely. The money was going mostly to the South Indian states, which are presently dealing with the conversion mafia. The main countries sending money to India were, of course, America, Germany, UK, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, etc. Except US, none of the other mentioned countries share a great rapport with India. Then what are they funding in India? Interestingly, Middle Eastern countries also don't find themselves in the top 10 list as is popularly believed. Surprised? Somebody rightly said the West has 4 wings of armed forces: the Army, Air Force, Navy, and the NGOs. US President Biden has taken over very recently, and soon the fiasco in the Indian Exclusive Economic Zone followed. For those who do not know, US Navy had conducted a freedom of navigation patrol in the Indian Exclusive Economic Zone without India's preliminary consent. Add to this that there are many reports on Hunter Biden's secret deals with China's secret agency. And to India's nightmare, long ago, Joe Biden himself was instrumental in pushing back development of Indian cryogenic engine by a decade. We had earlier posted a video on this. You can click the above link to access the video. Money has been flowing in from US even before Joe Biden came to power. The deep state of US has a set agenda, and despite the governments changing, the agenda largely remains same. one of the most important and controversial American evangelical organizations active in Africa and India, and which receives substantial US government support, is Samaritan's Purse. This is headed by the influential evangelical leader Franklin Graham. In the 90s, when Franklin Graham had visited India, he had made no secret of his disdain towards other religions. After visiting India, he said, hundreds of millions of people locked in the darkness of Hinduism, bound by Satan's power. Here is that report from Washington Post. Samaritan's Purse, the NGO, was also involved in the Operation Christmas Child. The operation was active in India and other developing nations. Under the program, shoebox gifts packaged in US were distributed to the needy children in the developing world. These boxes contained toys, clothes and other accessories and were accompanied by Bibles and an invitation to change faith. Apparently, the same NGOs were involved in a visa fraud too. According to the visa rule, missionaries are not supposed to be carrying out their propaganda in India after they enter India. But this pic clearly shows that's not the case. This is just one of the myriads of US NGOs working in India and still continue their work unabashedly. While Amnesty and Ford Foundation have been forced to shut down their shops, there are many others which need to face the same fate. Earlier we had posted on KP Yohanan, the man who runs Gospel for Asia, one of the largest missionary in the world. Gospel for Asia was involved in fraud cases in America, while back in India, their premises were raided by Income Tax Department last year and rupees 57 lakhs were found. But the story doesn't end here. KP Yohanan's group is apparently involved in an organ mafia. Convert a poor and then take away his organ. Later, cremate his body in a crematorium. Many of you might not know that once upon a time, Hillary Clinton was operating through the NGOs to target Modi. According to a report posted in the Sunday Guardian, she operated through organizations based in Netherlands, Denmark, Scandinavian countries, especially Norway, as these were outside the radar of big power politics. During the tenure in the office of Secretary Clinton, several expert teams in the guise of NGOs were sent to Gujarat to try and find mass graves. Yes, you heard that right. The purpose was then to take the matter to Office of UN Commissioner of Human Rights as an example of genocide. In fact, Kudankulam nuclear power plant protests in 2002 were carried out by the same NGOs, as Russia was involved in providing nuclear reactors to India, something that did not go down well with America. That is reminiscent of an incident. Recently, a Russian engineer who was staying in Agra was found dead in his hotel room. Oleg Filippov, an aircraft maintenance engineer, had visited Air Force Station in Agra along with his colleague to train Indian engineers for maintaining Russian aircraft. This is the second such incident of death since March, when another Russian engineer was found dead in Visakhapatnam. Russian engineer Grachev Dmitry was found unconscious at cabin C1 on the Dolphin Hills. Both Agra and Visakhapatnam has had a history of sleuths operating in these places. Last year, 14 spies were arrested from Dolphin Hills. Meanwhile, as a reminder, the Indian scientists and engineers faced the following fate. Tapan Mishra from ISRO was poisoned. Vikram Sarabhai died a mysterious death. Nambi Narayanan was trapped in a spy racket. Between 2009 and 2013, we had lost 11 nuclear scientists. What are we hinting at? CIA was involved in Kudankulam protests in 2012 and in possible elimination of their competitors. Probably. Beyond all this, let's not forget how US has banned raw materials for COVID vaccine to India, but what US had really forgotten was Vav Life Sciences in India provided synthetic phospholipids to Pfizer, which is an American vaccine country that also produces Viagra. Meanwhile, Pfizer had the reputation of asking for military bases as a guarantee to poor nations. So once again, it is proven that through American corporates and NGOs, America flexes its specs surreptitiously.